So I talked about this euro yen trade. It's saying, Jonathan, I'm up 600 pips. I got in at 139.5 on a trade that I put in a Sunday email 2 weeks ago, and we've dropped like a stone since then. I was looking to add to my trade, and I was slow on the trigger. I should have put a sell stop under, last week's low. I didn't. So I've just got the one trade. I'm making 600 pips. And frankly, I think this has still got a lot lower to go, but we're kind of coming to a support level here around the 132.5. So for those of you, I might scratch half of my trade somewhere in here. You can see we're getting close to a support level, but I do feel that we're in this kind of reverse triangle here. And I feel like we're going to go and probably touch the bottom. I think we could come all the way back to 122. So there's probably a lot left on the table here, but we could have a interim bounce about 100 pips lower at about 132, 132.5. So I might take off some lots here and then look for a bounce, what have you. But this was one of the better trades in the FX space. And so now this was one of the better trades in the FX space. And so came in short the Dow Jones today. We're down about 200 on the Dow Jones. I came in short Tesla. We're down about $8 on Tesla. I came in short this INCY, INCY. It's also an earnings play. It's down a little bit in the pre-market. And then I also shorted pin interest after the earnings came out. So closed at $20, it went over 24. I actually got a trade out at 24.20. And now it's kind of dribbling down. I mean, this thing's up 30%. I don't see how it's going to sustain that. There's a new activist hedge fund in there and said that they're going to do great things with it and what have you. And I just shorted into that. So I've got all these short trades and I'm going to take off some of them. And that looks like it may be reversing. Call the obituary of Tesla, but I have a feeling that we're right at this nice little inflection point. I always look for symmetry. I've been talking about this for a long time, that I thought that Tesla could put. So you can see that we are right at this area here, over here. And, long way before the weekly close here. But if we reverse, this could signify that this is the same reversal as we saw here that signified a nice trade there. So, I'm kind of looking at this thing as a big double top, head and shoulders top, and we'll see what happens. So I'm, every time it kind of pokes up here, I'm going to take a poke at the short. So we're going to, when the energy comes in lower, I don't like to short into that. If we started going, I would actually be inclined to buy this thing on the premise that it's probably going to go back. Nothing's goes straight up and then straight down. So we're going to open substantially lower. And just looking at this thing, I think if you can get this thing back at 920 to 930, I'm going to keep kind of probing the short side up there. Tesla's on the radar. I do think that it's the beginning of the end for these indexes. I kind of put on a trade, put on a pattern, and I think it's easier sometimes to see things in black and white. I like looking at charts with different feels, different looks to it. Sometimes I see different aspects when I look at different scales or different services, what have you. And I don't know, I really wanted to put on a big position yesterday. And we're looking at this funky little pattern here called a diamond top. You don't see it too often, but I mean, look at that. And that is a top formation. It's something you don't see too often. And I was hoping that we would, kind of maybe get back up into this 33.5 where it broke out. But it looks like it's failing. It looks so when something kind of opens, on a high and then starts going through the unchanged and failing, I think this thing could start failing, very quickly. And I do think we're very close to the top. The news always says the market went down because Nancy Pelosi, blah, blah, blah. No, the market's going down because it's in a diamond pattern, and this pattern is a reversal pattern. So that being said, I don't expect the market just to crap out. It takes time, for market to roll over. It takes time to build tops. So, it's just, I don't expect this to go right down. So I'm going to just get out of my shorts, like right on the opening. Because it's going to open down here, and this is just not a way a top is. I don't know. It could come off very quickly. Who knows? China could shoot something down and what have you. But we are, I think, closer to the end of this rally. I was hoping we could get one more sprint up here, and maybe we still can. So we can see that Caterpillar put on this huge major, top, made one high, backed off, came through here. And now all we really did was we came right back to this neckline. This is what patterns do. They come out of the gate, everybody gets excited, and then they retest the breakout area. And that's, to me, what was happening up here. But, here's the thing. I mean, you could have said, hey, Mark, isn't this a double bottom, inverted head and shoulders? And it is. And for a while, you could have gotten a ride off of that. And these patterns do give you a look, where you can trade them. And I do trade these little intermediate patterns, but that's the thing. You have to know which is the, counter trend trade and which is the trend trade. So that's the trick of trading. It's, the market gives you all kinds of looks. And so to me, this is the big bad governing pattern. So I'm going to, clean out of, some of my trades right away. I mean, we're going to open at 185. So we were at 200 and now all of a sudden we're down here. So I'm going to, say thank you very much on, a lot of that trade. Earnings are not for the faint of heart. So again, if you decide to take some of these plays that I throw up here, I don't want to hear the tears. So all of these things are on the cusp of these channel resistances or breakouts. We're in these well-defined channels. The thing is, we're at the bottom of these things, and you've got to think that these things actually got to break higher. I mean, we've done so much work now, and it just seems like even if this thing wants to go lower, you have to kind of come up to go lower again. So we're breaking out of the top end of these, there's a lot of these little mini breakouts, Restoration Hardware and the T-bonds, and, and the question is, you just don't know if it's going to fail on you. That's the problem. So a little bit dicey up here. You're in this downtrending channel. You are in a downtrending channel. This won't turn up until you get to 110. So, you could still kind of get up here and fail. That's kind of the problem. It's somewhat tricky in here, but you are breaking out of these channels. And this actually looks good. I mean, this looks like a real pattern, and it looks like a trap down here. So you've got this bear trap where you've got this inverted head and shoulders, got this uptrending. This looks good. I would say you have to buy this. Again, I can't really see a pathway lower right now. I can't really make a case that this thing's going to go lower. I would buy this into a lower opening.
So you can see, 45 is 1.3 million.
$1.3 million short.
So pop out a profit for 118,000 there.
So you can see how this is going crazy now. You can see how the market just going nuts.
I bet like $1.6 million on this position. I'm showing right now $23,000 gain.